Have you ever stopped and wondered why a small, round piece of metal, a printed piece of paper, or even a number on your phone screen can be exchanged for food, clothes, and everything you need? Why do we all agree to believe in their value? What if I told you that the most important invention in economic history wasn't the computer or the internet, but an idea born over 2,600 years ago in a forgotten kingdom? The truth behind what we call money is more incredible than fiction. In today's video, we will explore the greatest revolution in the history of commerce, the journey from barter to the first coins. To understand this revolution, we must travel back to a world without money. Imagine you are a wheat farmer. You want a pair of shoes, but the shoemaker doesn't need wheat. He needs wool. You would have to find a shepherd who needs wheat to trade for wool, and only then could you bring the wool to the shoemaker. This is the core problem of the barter system, the double coincidence of wants. It was incredibly complex and inefficient. To solve this, people began using commodity money, items with intrinsic value that were widely accepted, such as salt, the word salary originates from salt, seashells, cattle, or grains. This was a step forward, but it was still full of problems. Cattle couldn't be divided, grain could spoil, and carrying them around was cumbersome. The world needed a better solution. The great turning point came around 600 BC in a wealthy kingdom called Lydia in modern-day Turkey. Under the reign of King Alyattes, the Lydians came up with a genius innovation. They noticed their kingdom's rivers contained electrum, a natural alloy of gold and silver. Instead of letting merchants weigh and test the purity of each piece of electrum for every transaction, King Alyattes ordered the royal mint to do something unprecedented. They created electrum pellets of a standard weight and size, and most importantly, stamped them with a royal seal, the head of a lion, the king's symbol. These were the first coins in human history. As the story goes, a Lydian merchant could now travel from one end of the kingdom to the other with just a small pouch of coins, buying and selling everything quickly, without needing scales or metal testing tools. Commerce exploded, and Lydia became one of the most powerful trading empires of its time. The fateful moment was not the discovery of gold or silver, but the king's act of stamping. It wasn't just an image carved on metal, it was a promise. The king's seal was the guarantee of state power, ensuring that this coin had the exact weight and value stated. For the first time in history, trust was minted into a physical object. This was the game-changing turning point. Merchants were no longer trading a piece of metal, they were trading in a standardized promise. The chaotic scenes of marketplaces where people spent hours weighing, measuring, and arguing over value were replaced by efficiency and speed. King Alyattes' decision detached value from pure substance and linked it to a more abstract concept, faith in a system. From that moment on, the foundation of the modern economy was laid. So what does the story of the Lydian coins mean for us today? Its legacy is everywhere. Every time you hold a banknote, which is just a worthless piece of paper, you are placing your faith in the promise of a central bank, just as the Lydians trusted their king's seal. Every time you swipe a credit card, you are participating in a global system of trust built on the very same principle. This invention allowed governments to collect taxes efficiently, fund large armies, and build great public works. Our entire complex financial system, from banking and lending to the stock market, could not exist without the concept of a standardized and trusted unit of value. The core lesson from this story is, money is not about gold or silver, it's about a shared network of trust. It is a social technology. In summary, the journey from barter to coins is one of the greatest chapters in human history. It's not just a story about economics, but a story about social evolution, about how we learn to trust one another on a massive scale. It is a mirror reflecting our ambition, creativity, and capacity for cooperation. The story of money is not over. We have moved from precious metals to paper notes to electronic numbers. Will the next evolution of money be decentralized digital currencies, a world that doesn't need the stamp of any government? What do you think about the future of money?
Which lesson from this history impressed you the most? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss other fascinating economic stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.